student, and excited to be here. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Les. And Les, for a few of you that just got on the call, actually owns his own network marketing company for the last 3 years. Is that correct, Les? Pretty sure it's 3 years.
Well, we're 3.5 years old. You know, when you're young, you always add the half. When you're older, you always leave it off. But we're 3.5 years old.
Right, exactly. Perfect, wonderful. And Lisa, you are new to our group, and just so you guys know, if you're not familiar with Zoom, on the bottom left-hand corner, you have a microphone and a video, and if you click on it, hello, if you click on that, that will allow you to speak and also have your video shown. We are all about intimacy in this group. We're gonna get moving with our training in just a second, but just to kind of introduce you guys a little bit. So Lisa, if you get a chance, go ahead and unmute. Sherry is new to the program. She's brand new to the program. Her and Les are actually our newest members. Sherry, how long have you been in network marketing?
Probably 5 years off and on.
Excellent. Awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, so glad to have you guys here. And then there's one caller. It comes up iPhone. You're calling in on your phone. I don't know who that is. If you want to introduce yourself, that would be fantastic. And we're just getting a little information how long you've been in network marketing. Jump on whenever you like. And Lisa, same thing for you. I see you unmuted, so that's great.
Yep, I've been in network marketing, well, just recently for the last 2.5 months, and then before that I was in it for about 8 years or so.
Perfect. Wonderful. So we really have a lot of experienced people going through this. So I'm very thankful that each of you guys are here and that you're participating with everything. Hello, Marisol. And Marisol is brand new to network marketing. They actually, oh no, you guys were in Amway before as well. How long have either you or Erin been involved with network marketing? You're brand new, but Erin's been a while now. And Marisol just gave birth to her 3rd child, had twins before. And she was up and rocking and rolling ever since then. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. So I want to thank you guys all so much for being on the call and doing this weekly series with us. Tonight is going to be a nice little overview of the program. For some of you, you have gone through the program 100% already. Some of you are revisiting it from last year, and others are brand new. So we're going to go over a few things of why this program is so important, but also kind of do some of the basics, but then we're going to dive right into it. Week 2, week 3, and week 4 are going to be really in-depth. So if today is a little bit of a repeat from what you already know, don't worry, the rest of the weeks will not be. But I have gone through the program now 4 times. This is my 4th time going through it. And it's just one of those situations where every time you go through it, you learn something new, you implement different things, and I keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. And at this point, I really, truly am giving it my 100%, much more than the other times I've gone through it. And it's extremely addicting. I've always found that to be the case for myself of reaching out and talking to new people and building relationships. But now I'm really getting the 100% understanding of why it's so important and what we're doing. So if you guys are okay, do you mind if I share just a little bit of my story of how I got started and how this was introduced to me? Because the way it was introduced to me was exactly how the program works. Is that okay with everybody? Okay, I know some of you have heard my story before, so I'll be a little brief. So it was November of last year. The creator, Jim Lepkin, reached out to me via private message, introduced himself, stated our mutual friend that we had, and that I may have heard of his book. And a lot of you have had the book. And that was pretty much all he said. He referenced it that I may have seen it because the company that we're with actually sells the book, or ISA Tools, or ISA Sales, actually. So Sound Concepts, if you guys are familiar with Sound Concepts, they were selling the book. And And he basically kind of took it from there of, hi, I just wanted to reach out to you. I love meeting new people in the Scottsdale, Arizona area. I see you're in network marketing. I wanted to introduce myself. Hopefully we can be friends on Facebook. We have a few mutual friends, one in particular. And you may have seen my book. It's being sold by Sound Concepts, and he referenced his book. So hopefully we can be friends on Facebook and would just love to connect with you. It was very simple. I did take it a little bit as a sales private message because, of course, it was a little bit, but it was done in such a way that I didn't take it in a negative sales way. It was more like, this one is different. There's something about this message that makes me a little bit more interested. I Googled his book. I Googled him. Usually most sales presentations through private message, I do not. I just kind of thank them politely and move on. But this one paid a little bit more attention. But then at the same time, I just let it go, and I didn't do anything else with it. About a week to maybe 2 weeks later, Jim started to comment and post on comment and like on my posts. And so that really took me to a direction where I felt like I was getting to know him. But he had a respect for me. And so that made me very curious. I felt special. It wanted me to continue reacting with this gentleman. So I started liking and commenting on his posts. And so now we have this situation going on. Now we have a like for each other. We're starting to get to know each other. Then he reached out again, week and a half, 2 weeks later. And he invited me to his free private Facebook group to share more about what he does, what his program offers, and to check out the social proof. So of course I joined. He had already created the curiosity. Now I'm starting to like him. And now there's starting to be a little bit of a trust going on. So I got into the group. I saw a mutual friend. I reached out to her and I'm like, hey, what do you think of this situation? Is this something you and I might want to do together and help keep each other accountable? She came back with yes. So now I have a mutual friend. Now I've got common ground going on. And then the next thing that happened before this deal was sealed is he called to reach out to see if we could meet for tea. He's going to be in town and if we would like to get together. Now, that wouldn't have mattered to me if he was in town or through Zoom or what. It was just that reaching out. And during that time that we spoke, which was about 45 minutes, I said yes to doing the program. I had 2 team members come with me. They were both saying yes to the program. I took it back to the team, and within 3 days, we had 60 people say that they were going to join. And so it was that series that actually occurred where he gained the know, like, trust, and respect with me. It was over a period of time, and that's a big part of this program, is it does take some time to build the relationships. But in essence, it was really very easy. My wall came down a little bit from the beginning, and then with the mutual friends, and then the mutual situation of his book and our company. And then he started to comment and like, and it just kept going, and my wall came down. So by the time he actually did the deal, if we want to say it that way, I was already hooked. I didn't have to question him on the price. I didn't have to question him about his background or his research or what I was going to get from it, because I already had experienced the know, like, trust, and respect that whatever he was going to offer, I felt extremely comfortable with because we had gone through that series. So that's what this program really truly does. And when you really dive into it and you learn that the relationship part of it can happen with strangers, I think we all understand that, right? Everybody understands that we all start off as strangers, but pretty soon, once you have this connection happening, all of a sudden you're friends. And you're no longer strangers. You're no longer a salesperson. You're friends. And who do we like to do things with? Whether we're buying or doing an activity or we're somehow involved with them, we like to do it with people that we know, like, trust, and respect. And so that was very comforting to me to learn, especially now that I've done the program so many times, that if you follow that program and just apply the different concepts and have patience was a big one for me, and Heather and I talked about that last night, that's when the magic really happens. And so with that, let's kind of dive into a couple things. I'm going to share my screen and go over a live Facebook situation. Again, some of this is going to be duplicated, but the thing is raise your hand if you're like me at all. When our 60 team members went through this program, 40 of them actually did it. And we found several things. We found that there were several people who, and you guys may not be in this list, or you may be, but we have so many team members. And I know most of you are bringing this out because you want to help your team members to grow as well. And so when we brought it out, we had so many people who really didn't know what to post on Facebook. They really didn't know how to build a relationship. They were just copy, paste, put something out there, not showing themselves. And, you know, that's a little bit of a turnoff, right? So they learn how to change that. Then we had other people who really didn't want to share anything about themselves privately, and they're skipping that step of know and like and trust, respect, the whole thing, really, truly. If people don't know you, it's really hard for them to get to know the other things. And you guys understand that, but so many of our team members don't. And as much as we try to tell them, they just don't always listen to us. And then there are people like me, this is where I fit in, where I just wanted to skip over the steps, and I just wanted to get to the sale, right? I just wanted to get to the end result of sharing what I needed to share with people and not worry about all those other particular things. Doing his program, making me sit back, take a step back, and slow down has allowed me to open it up to all the different types of behavior, because people are going to research. And if they, whether they want to buy my product or they want to become a part of the team, they want to know who I am, and they want to like, trust, respect what I have to offer. And they're going to look at that. And the majority of people are doing that on Facebook, right? This program works, however, and I think, Larry, you asked before if you can do this on LinkedIn or any of the other stuff. You certainly can. Know your audience, know who you're trying to target, and then decide who you're targeting, where they're spending the majority of their time, and then just apply this process. For me, the majority of my target is Facebook. So I want to have my Facebook set up in a way that people are going to feel very comfortable with me already. So let's share the screen. And guys, anytime you guys have a question, please ask. Don't hold anything back. That's again why this is very small. And you guys, I'll show you guys. Oh, she doesn't have the number. Hold on, she wanted to join. So a lot of what I do is private message. So you're going to see my stuff pop up the entire time we're on this call. Okay, great. Jump on. All right. So with that, the different things, and I know some of this is going to be duplicated, so I'm going to go over this super fast. If it doesn't make sense to you, contact me. But the profile picture, that is one that we really have to get one profile picture that you are using to brand yourself with, that's on all of your stuff. It's everywhere. It's you alone. It's a picture that people are going to recognize, because they need to recognize us. Our brain is fixated on the situation. When they scroll super fast, they're going to look at the picture, and if they know and like you, they'll stop and look. If they don't see who you are right there, they may not stop and look. So being in sales, we've got to do everything we possibly can to have them stop and look. There's Marisol. See, look at that beautiful picture. And so that's the number one step. And being able to see, you can see some of the people I've given the training to, because their profile picture is extremely clear, right? All right. Good job, Lynette, by the way. Lynette's gone. Lynette is Les's wife. They are doing this together. The other thing, you can certainly change your cover picture. Mine will change tomorrow because this is now over as of tomorrow. Change that all you want. The only people that are going to see your cover picture are when you actually do it, you know, and it spams out. You get all kinds of likes and comments, right? It's a good way to entice people. But then unless they go to your page, that or your wall, that's the only way they're going to see it. So this is the one that everyone sees. The other thing is to make sure you guys are completely public. Is everybody public in every way with your friends, your wall, or not your friends, excuse me, your friends, no. Your friends are absolutely private, but everything else is public, right? Okay, good. And then this portion, your bio. This is basically your resume. And there's so many reasons why this needs to be filled out and filled out in detail. So because we're public, we're allowing people to see a lot about us. This is how they're going to gain a little bit of like, trust, and respect from us. By just looking at this area tells people a lot about us. And you guys have all seen it where maybe they just have a statement or one or two things that they do. You don't know anything about their background. So it's harder to gain that respect and trust from them. And you've got to take your time with this. Go into the About and edit your profile, and you can add all kinds of information right here. So this is where you really go into detail, because if they click on something, oh, not gonna let me do it right now. Bummer. That's not what I wanted. Sorry. If they click on any of your stuff, there we go. That gives a ton of information, right? It's not just where I do business with. It's different awards, it's different successes, it's different things that I've learned. Some people are going to look at this and some people won't, but we have to be prepared for those that do. So give them all the details, everything and anything you possibly can list. You want to. The other reason for that is how you're going to bring down the wall, right? Okay, so one of my first network marketing companies that I was with was Party Light Gifts. And that was 1999, right? So we're talking a long time ago at this point. But what about those Party Light people that I'm going to reach out to, because they're going to be part of my graph search? And it's going to be so important for them to see that I really truly was with Party Light if I'm referencing how we know each other or may not know each other. But where's our common ground? And if I state Party Light, but they don't see it on my list, how do they even know, right? And I've got to gain that specific trust with them. You've got to list everything. The other thing is, what if they're doing our training and they're graph searching people and they graph for people? I'm just picking on Party Light, but if they graph search for people who are in Party Light, I'm going to come up, right? I want people to find me. That's a big part of what we do. We want them to find us in different areas. So we need to be visible in so many different places. Does anyone have any questions about this? I'm just going to kind of scroll through. This was I redid this, I think the second or third time I went through this program. I did not do it in detail the first. I think it was actually the third time I went through the program. I really went into detail. I think I listed everything the second time, and then I went into detail the third time. And you do have to update this here and there, like especially videos. I'm not great with this. You got to update that. You got to show new videos. Well, actually, your videos come in automatically. But your check-ins, you should always check in places, because this, again, is a huge way of finding people. So when you start graph searching, I can just click on any one of these places that I've been to and say, oh my gosh, we go to the same place. Are you currently still going to, let's just say, Stars AZ, right? Because that's how you bring down the wall. So the more stuff you have in here, the better. Obviously, I'm not a huge sports fan, so I probably need to do a little bit more to attract more attention, but it's just not necessarily me. Music, I have not updated. Got to stay on top of this, because people will look, and people are going to look to see if you have common interests, because they're going to research you to see if you have common interests. And if you don't, yeah.
So somebody's got some noise or shuffling that's interfering with being.
Okay, great. Do you guys, you're not asking me questions yet, so let's just go ahead and have everyone mute. And if you do have questions, go ahead and unmute and make sure you're loud so that I hear you. Thank you, Stephanie. Are we good? There we go. All right. I think we should be good now. Okay. They are going to look, and if I listen to music that they don't listen to, they may not be a huge fan of mine, right? So these are things that other people might pay attention to, that we just have to be prepared. Whether it makes a difference to us or not, it might make a difference to them. So do your movies, your books, your music, and everything that shares who you are. All right, great. And everything, places you've lived, contact basic information. We're in sales. We cannot hide ourselves in any way, right? We need people to know all of this information. Family relationships, that's certainly up to you, and that's not something that we can tell you to do or not do, because that is a privacy situation. But if you feel comfortable with that, great. I think family is important. I only have my intimate family here. I should have the rest of my extended family because I want to be able to see their posts. I want to be able to see what they're doing, and I want them to see what I'm doing. So that's another way to kind of really increase it with your family. And as we all know, family and network marketing and sales are the hardest people to ever work with, right? So the more they get to know, like, trust, and respect you as an adult, the better off you are. That's a difficult one for a lot of people. All right, you guys can read the rest. All right, any questions about anything that we just covered before we move on to the next topics?
Hi there. So I have been doing a little training with a gentleman who actually works with Facebook. Like, he's on top of and ahead of the curve on algorithm changes, all that kind of stuff. And one of the things, I like what you're saying about the about section, and it makes sense to me. And he says the exact opposite, which I'm sure if he asks 10 different Facebook trainers, they'll say 10 different things. He said we want it to be as clean as possible and not too cluttered. So I'm a little torn.
Okay.
I get the past companies now, and I used to have mine on there, and I'm thinking now I should put it back on because, yeah, the searching thing for sure.
Well,
So
let's just ask this question. So, guys, if you were to come onto my wall, and I really appreciate this, Stephanie, if you were to come onto my wall and I have all of this stuff, and be honest, because everybody has a different behavior and a different opinion, would that bother you to see all that information?
I don't think it's a bother thing. I think it's just like
Too much?
Thing.
Okay.
But you know what? If I was investigating you, then or doing research about working with you, that does make sense. It does make sense.
Okay. I like it because that is something I look at. And since I've been doing Jim's program, I spend a lot of time looking at people's. And let's just pick on people. I am recording, but this is only for our group. We don't want to share this recording with other people, but I know her, so she's probably going to have a decent amount. Let's find out. So she's followed by a lot of people. She doesn't have a ton of information, but what she has is enough to make me feel comfortable with her because, in my opinion, this is just strictly my opinion, she is showing herself that she knows what she's doing, right? It's not just a very, let's just pick on someone else.
You can look at mine. You can pick on mine. I don't mind. Be kind.
And that's part of our program, guys. If you guys, if we want to help each other and look at each other's stuff, let's do that, right? We're only going to know if we get feedback from other people on what looks good. All right, so I love yours. I think that's great. It is clean. Going back to what we were talking about, I'm not going to find you in different ways.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to find that search, but you're proving yourself. And here's what's interesting to me. I love your name, Very Inspired People. But what sticks out for me is that you were a coordinator for the Winter Olympics, and that's actually coming up right now. So that's very intriguing, and that provides a lot of interest for you, but a lot of trust at the same time, because if you were a part of that, then other people really trust you. You're followed by a ton of people. So you got to really kind of think about that and go with your gut as to what makes sense from you. Let's just pick on one other person, if we can find someone super, super, super quick that doesn't have much. All right.
Are you going to talk about the about section, because that's a place that so many people have nothing, and
so she's got nothing, right?
No, but if you click on the about section, yeah,
she's not going to have anything.
Yeah, exactly.
She's got nothing.
Yeah.
Right. I don't feel like I know her, and I do know her personally, but from her wall,
yeah,
I got nothing. I really, truly have nothing.
Yeah.
Does that help answer that question?
Thank
you. Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. Okay, good. Other questions, other concerns, anything else? Bring out your concerns, guys, because if you have this concern, someone else may have your concern. How did I edit my information? There is a button right up here, edit profile. And then you can, oh wait, hold on. And then you have your, there's an edit right there. And then you have your options edit. And that's where you can go in and edit everything. Every single thing to the right will have options and edit. Now the Facebook will do this See Life event for you. And they usually do it for like kids or getting married or something like that. I don't know if I'm one way or the other about the See Life event. It pops up in your news feed and people are going to see it. So sometimes they get confused when you make a See Life event. Like if you did say you were married before and all of a sudden you're married and they're like, oh, did you just get married? So, right. So I don't worry so much about that See Life event unless it's something I want to say right now. All right, cool. Other questions? All right, awesome. Okay. All right, so we're just going to kind of go through this step by step. And again, thank you, Stephanie and Marisol, for asking your questions. All right, so I can go a couple different directions with you guys right now, and over the 4 weeks, we'll cover everything. But I think usually the biggest thing that people want to know are how do I reach out to people, who do I reach out to, and what do I say? So that's part of our connection piece. Raise your hand or say yes or something in the comments if that's what you want, or if there's something else that's going to be really important to you. So I make sure I cover that because I can spend a lot of time in this area. Does anyone want anything else, or I'm just going to dive into the connection part? Okay, good. All right, great. So let me just check. Okay, perfect. All right. There are so many ways to connect. We're going to do as many as we possibly can. I'll give you guys, really they're going to be kind of summaries on how to do it. Because if you go back to the book or the video or whatever you have, I think you guys all have access to the online program. Jim will go through this in detail. And I learned a big trick. I think it was his third time I went through it, to have 2 sets of devices. One that I can listen and read the videos, listen to, read the stories, listen to the videos, and the other one to actually work on. Because it wasn't conducive for me to listen and then go back and do it. I wanted to do it right at that time. It's a little bit more time consuming to do it this way. So each course takes several hours, but when you go through and you actually get your work done, then you can put it into practice, realize how to do it, understand it, so that you can move on and actually put it really into play once you're finished. All right, so friends. This is such a great area. And first of all, I'm going to suggest to you guys to not let your friends be seen by the public. But however, we're looking for people that let their friends be seen by the public. All right? Everybody, does that make sense? Says we're going to try to friend other people's friends, but we don't want people doing that to our friends. So you can see that on mine now because it's mine, but if you go to my profile, you're not going to see my friends. I think that's very important network marketing, but only teach people that on your team. So there's so many ways to start. And I think Larry and Stephanie, you guys actually did this where you took your friends list and you printed them out. You can do that. You can totally print everybody out and then just mark it off. And you need to kind of make a decision on what you want to do. Do you want to connect with brand new people, build your friends list, or do you want to reconnect with the people you're already friends list? Anyone make a comment in the chat section on which one you prefer to start with. And whoever says it first, I'll start. Reconnect. Okay, fantastic. And if you have, most of us have a ton of friends already. We've been working this program for a while, working Facebook, and you might have 4,000 or 5,000 friends. You only have the ability to have up to 5. Right. So use the friends you already have, because are you truly friends with them? Do they really like, know, trust, and respect you? Or is that something you have to build? Okay, we will do both, don't worry, but we'll start with friends. So it's important for us to do that. I know there are a lot of other social media people out there that teach us to just friend. That's not what Jim's program is about. Jim's program is to actually build relationships with people. So you can do that with both people you already know and then brand new people. So let's look at the friends list. Now, so many ways to do this. All right, I know all of you have Facebook groups, so I'm going to show you what I'm currently doing right now. And I'm only doing one section at a time because it can be overwhelming. If you don't stay consistent, this can be and organized. This will be very, very overwhelming. So this is my product page. All right, so I and the team built this. And so what I have done is I'm starting to reach out to every single member. All right, and I'm just saying hi. I'll show you I'll show you the text that I'm using. Now, if I did not invite them into this group, I'm asking the team members, and I basically just go through, because of course we have specific people that add more people than others. So I'm just asking the individuals that add a ton of people, and then if I see a new name, I'll ask them too, hey, and I can send you guys my script, but I'm reaching out to people in Game Changers Healthy Living, and this is the script that I'm using. I just want to say hi, and if there's anything we can help them with, but I want to make sure you're comfortable that I'm doing that, and if you have any issues with that, please just let me know, right? Because I don't want to have the invitees or the enrollees of my team members come back and say, who is the Stephanie Beebe chick? Why is she reaching out to me? And them not have an answer. And I want their approval. So important to always have permission, because this is different than reaching out to brand new people. These are your team members who we do not want to upset. So I am literally going through every single one. And I didn't send one to my husband. I need to do that. But I'm sending a little love note to every single one. All of these, I want to show you one that maybe hasn't responded to me so that you can see my message. So many of them have already responded. Okay, so Aaron wasn't that long ago. Okay. Aaron is Marisol's husband. All right, so I just want to be able to find my love message really fast. Okay, here we go. Here's my love message. I've tweaked it a little bit here and there. I don't know if I think this was my last one, and I tweaked it for the people that I did not enroll. Also, if we have a lot of communication together, then I want to mention something about that. I just don't want to be generic. I want to copy and paste something really super fast, because I go through this, but it's their reaction to me, which is where I spend my time. So I have no problem sending out my love note super fast, but as soon as they respond, that's where my heart goes out, and that's where I spend the time and effort with them. So this one's super simple. Hello, love. You may not want to say love. That's just kind of how I talk. But I hope your day is great. I just wanted to check in, say hello, see if there's anything you would like to discuss. Oh, actually, this is not a newer one. I didn't say that. Oh, she hasn't responded, I don't think. Say hello, and if you need anything, just let me know. I'm so glad we are working together, and I want to thank you for all of your participation and all that you do. Thinking of you, Stephanie. So that actually wasn't my newest one, but you guys will get the point. Just put together something that it works really good for you. I'm just really, truly wanting to know that I'm thinking of them, and that's it. There's no intention whatsoever. A love note is strictly a love note. No strings attached. Some will respond. Some will say that they need something. Some will just give you a comment, or some will give you, a thumbs up or a happy picture or a love sign. I'm really not looking for anything in particular except if they want to communicate with me. And here's the thing that I have learned this time around is I've gotten rid of the head games. So if you want to raise your hand, if you allow yourself to have head games here and there, go right ahead. But this has allowed me to not have head games. I honestly am putting this message out to everybody. I am not judging in one way if I should send them a message or not. Yes. And every once in a while it would hit me up, oh my gosh, should I really send them that message? I mean, like, of course I should. Of course I should. Why should I treat them special in any way? Everybody needs love. And if that's all I'm really truly doing is sending out a love message, there's no reason to second guess that whatsoever. Now, last night we talked on a different call about their responses. And here's where the head games can come into play. And I even experienced it a little bit today and I had to let it go. Not everyone will respond, or they won't respond very fast. Doesn't matter. When you're really truly sending out a love message, you just got to send that love message out, and that's all that matters, right? You don't think about anything else. And if they respond, they respond. If they don't respond, they don't respond. But we got to really look at it in ways of how many of you, and raise your hand if this is you, have received some kind of message, text, voicemail, private message, whatever it is, and it intrigued you, you wanted to respond, but then all of a sudden something else happened and you were taken away at that moment and you forgot to respond, right? Raise your hand. Let's get a visual here. How many of you have ever done that, right? So we don't know, right? We don't know if that other person that's not responding meant to respond to us and they were just taken away. So no head games here. Don't ever think, well, why didn't that person respond to me? We don't know. All right, so I just wanted to state that because that's a serious big part of reaching out to people and doing your love notes. Now, all right, so then there's the organization piece, right? You'll respond to them in any way, and basically however they respond to you is how you respond to them. When they open the door to something, that's when you have an opportunity to come through. But if you're just having a love note situation and that's all they are allowing you to have because they didn't open the door, just leave it as that. Perfectly fine. You're going to have several other opportunities, according to this program, to revisit your communication with them. This is not a one-time situation. This is just, how are you? I hope your day is doing great. I've been thinking about you. All right, and always sign your name, personalize it. You don't have to do that every single time, but this is a pretty big one. So you want to make sure you do that. Now, what we are doing to help us stay organized, and just so you guys know, I want to point this out. I just hired an intern, and it's the most absolute fantastic thing. She was brought to me, actually. I didn't go looking for her, but she was brought to me. She's graduating from ASU. She needs her intern hours in order for her to graduate. So she looked for someone who was doing mass social communication and advertising and marketing so that she could fulfill her degree. She works 10 hours a week for free. And it's a beautiful, beautiful relationship. I am planning on paying her, and I'm paying her according to bonuses, but we haven't gotten to that point yet, right? She's got to help me build a business. But just to let you know, that's been a huge, grateful situation for me to have her help me do a lot of this. All right, anyway, so what we do is as soon as we send out a message, we list them. All right, so you guys all know about the other list. All right, if anyone doesn't know about this other list, let's talk about that just real quick. With the add to another list, and you can get it anywhere, whether you're on their page, you're on their profile, wherever you're at, you will find this under friends. If you're friends with them, if you're not friends with them, you cannot put them on a list. All right, so you add to another list, and you can make up all kinds of lists. So at the bottom, you've got an opportunity for new list. What we decided to do, and this is not Jim's program, but it's something that his project manager and I talked about that would help us because we're reaching out to a minimum of 150 people a week, and we want to stay in touch with those. So every week we're adding a new 150 people every single week. So how am I going to stay organized with that? We were going to do a spreadsheet. We were going to write it out. It really just seemed like it was too complicated. So we came up with this idea, and I'm going to come back and let Jim know how this works. but we came up with they're in week 1. So week 1 is for people that I just sent a love note to. And then that way, when I'm ready, which is what she did today, we can go back to week 2, we can go back to week 1, and week 1, and this is so cool. I love how they do this. All right, let's just go to Penny. All right, Penny's going to be on week 1. Oh, wait, hold on. I want to show you here. Sorry. Still learning a couple things. I'm not the guru yet. But if you go into, and she did it for me today, I think it's in settings. You can click on your lists. Let's try it this way. You can click on friends, and then you can click on your friends list. I'm going to have to do a video tutorial. Here we go. This will work. Friends list right here. Boom, boom. Go to home. Go under explore. Friends lists. Here's my week 1, week 2, week 3. I can click on this, and every single person that I put in that category, their wall comes up. So week 2 is to have them get a trust and respect from me. And the way that they're going to do that is if I actually pay attention to them. Just sending out one love note is not going to give that. You've got to pay attention to them and help them feel special. So how do we do that? We like and comment on their posts. So everyone that's on that list, when I come in here, these are their most recent posts. So we just take much time it takes, because this is part of creating that love, trust, and respect, and like and comment on the different things. All right, I have just a couple of rules. I'm not personally going to like and comment on negative situations, or if it's something that causes my gut to not feel good, or just in that situation. I'm avoiding that. I'm not going to encourage that whatsoever. What we did find is when we asked questions, like right here, let's just do this. How fun. I would love to know more about this. Right? When you do something on like this, this isn't a great example, but have you ever been to this before? I've always been thinking about going. People respond, and you're having conversations back and forth with each other, which is what you want. You want to have that conversation. It can easily be taken offline, but do some stuff to create that moment between you that they know you're paying attention to them and you made them feel special. The whole purpose of this whole thing that we're doing from start to finish is for them to feel your love, for them to know that you care about them and that you're making them feel special. The whole thing, that's it. And just really, really take that in. So I like to ask questions, or I'm having my intern ask some questions as well. Like, that's so cool. I'm not going to do this because it will start a huge conversation, but that's so cool. Where did you find that video? Right? Just quick little things that we can talk about that he's going to respond. All right, any questions with that? And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. I don't want to go too far without asking if you guys have questions.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Thank you for this. I love lists, first of all. And there used to be a way, and I don't know if Facebook moved it or has taken away the option, to be able to actually see the list and the friends that are in the list rather than just their newsfeed, because I have some lists and people don't post often. I'm not seeing their stuff, right?
I don't think they have that anymore.
That was so good.
I know. You're not going to get it from the list. You're going to have to get it a different way if they're in a group, or no, you're not going to get it from that. I'm sorry. I'll ask Jim that question, but I don't think so. And you ask your other person and see what they say. And let's come back to each other. All right, cool. So let me kind of go through the different weeks. And this pretty much follows Jim's program with a little tweak. So week 1, love note. Week 2, pay attention to them, like and comment on their posts. Week 3, and it doesn't have to be exactly week 1, week 2, week 3. If you want to space it out over 2 weeks, that's up to you. He says I'm being extremely aggressive by doing week 1, week 2, week 3, but you guys do it as long as you stay organized and consistent. That's the most important thing. Week 3 is going to be inviting them into a Facebook group. And then in between, I would do another like comment list. Bam, 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 bam. And then week 4 is the follow-up. So now you're back in your private messages. And if they haven't already opened that door for you, this is your time to open the door. Hey, I love to give away free samples. Go back to Jim's sample version. I see you've been paying attention to my posts. Would you like to try a sample? And Jim is extremely aggressive. That's not the right word, but you've got to make people earn the samples. You're not just trying to send out samples to people. You need to have them earn it. So if they entered your Facebook group, if they opened the door, maybe had a phone call with them, they came to one of your online parties, whatever it is, but somehow they earned a sample, that's when you send them a sample and you give them some guidelines. But you can, so week 4 can be inviting them into that and then sending them out the sample, or hey, would you like to get together? That's kind of the opportunity to give them a little bit of a sales presentation. And Jim's program will tell you exactly how to do that. If they haven't already opened the door, use that as your time. And even if it's just to ask for referrals, that's when you do that. Try not to do it before unless they open that door, because when you go too fast, as we know, it's just like dating. When we go too fast, they're done. But when you do it in that sequence order, you hopefully have already gained their like, trust, respect, that they're willing and able and ready for you to open that door with them. Some of them will open that door immediately. And I found when I went through my group, and we're not done yet. I mean, there's 2,500 people in there. It's going to take a long time to go through that. But many of them asked me questions. And they're like, hey, I do need help with this. Or, hey, I do want to order this. Or we've brought some people back. So there's lots of different things that happen. When you pop a love note out to people, all of a sudden they think, bam. Now, let me show you what else we do. So Stephanie, hopefully you like this as well. So there's another way to get organized, which is what Jim talks about, and that's archiving. If you are missing people in the group, what are you inviting them to? You wouldn't invite them to another Facebook group because they're already in it, but you can re-invite them, because you know how many people are actually very visible in our Facebook group, right? So maybe re-invite, and that's what I'm doing. I'm having a couple of them, and I'm asking them, are you enjoying Game Changers? Are you, have you been watching any of the posts? And I've noticed, and I haven't asked that question much because we're only on week 2, but I've noticed that I'm having so many new people comment in our group than ever have before, which has been so fantastic. So they're automatically doing that just because of the love note kind of reignited them. But if you're not going to do that, re-invite them, or maybe that's when you re-invite them to something else. Re-invite them to have a phone call with you. Re-invite them to maybe revisit the business part of the plan. You know, we're kind of whatever they need, but take it at that opportunity. We are going to start some engagement contests. Ooh, fantastic. I love that. Good. Okay, let me just look through this to see how you guys are all doing. Okay, great. So here's what Jim talks about in his book. And it is, go to your private messages and see all in Messenger. And then you archive. So up here, you have a little spinning wheel, and it says archived threads. So I'm only working one situation with all of these love notes that I'm sending out. They're all going back to the same situation. I don't have multiple stuff going on. So I know that whoever I put in this archive, Okay, let me do the correct person now.
What should we be seeing right now? Because all I'm seeing is the little message, like a teeny little, did my view change, or what's everyone seeing?
You should be seeing my private messages all listed.
No,
So
it's only showing a little bit of the piece of it. Like, I think restart your sharing.
okay. Okay, are you seeing my messenger on the left?
Good now.
In the center, you've got my main message with that particular person, but on my left, do you see that? I'm scrolling through it right now. Is that showing up? Stephanie's saying yes. Okay, cool. Okay, good. So these are people that I put in there. So let's just click on this one. I don't know this girl. She's in the group. This is, nope, that's for my class. Hold on. I did that today too. Let's just do this. So what I did is I archived every conversation that I've had dealing with my love notes. Any person, I don't care if they responded or not, any person that I sent a love note to out for this particular purpose gets archived. So here's what I said for people that I did not invite into the group and my team members gave me permission. Hello, I hope your day is great. I just wanted to say hello. We know each other through Isagenix and Game Changers Healthy Living. I hope you're doing great, and if there's anything you ever need, please just reach out, Stephanie Beebe. I started off with Stephanie, but half of them don't really know me because they really have never paid attention to the group, so they don't know me. So I needed to bring down their wall. Who is she? Originally, I didn't have the company name in there, and I wasn't really getting too many responses, so I'm like, well, maybe their wall is up. Maybe they don't recognize who that, in this case, Kathy is. They don't recognize my name, and they've never been in the group, so they're not recognizing the Game Changers. So now I need to bring down that wall, go company name, so that they feel a little bit more comfortable. I haven't honestly gotten a lot of responses from this one yet, but again, I'm not going to think too much about it. I just want to perfect my statement more than anything so that they want to respond. So if anyone has any suggestions, I'm certainly open. I have received, anyone and everyone that I invited or that I know has responded, probably like 85, 90%. But these people don't. But how can I intrigue them? Well, like my assistant said, maybe you haven't intrigued them enough for them to respond, but maybe you're intriguing them enough to look at your wall. Maybe you're intriguing them enough to go back into the group and check out the group. So again, I can't let my head games play. I just gotta pray, trust, and hope that I intrigue them enough to do something, and something so much better than nothing, right? So this is kind of the direction I'm going. But we just take this day, week 1, we archive them, and now we go into week 3, all these people that are in my archives, now I can revisit the message with them. So it's super simple and organized. Everything is very organized for me, so I don't have to figure out who am I supposed to contact. I can either do it through the week 3 or the archives, because this is already going to be very, very simple. I'm going to click on him, her, right? You guys see how easy that will be? If I do the week 2 and I go through that list, then I'm going to have to click on extra things. So this way it is really nice and fast, but I feel it's important to have both situations so that I know where I'm at with that person. Questions?
So do you find it more effective to do messaging? Because I've started doing, at least for birthdays, little videos. And I'm hearing back from people for 3 years. I never heard back from birthday wishes. And I'm doing the videos with a cute little filter. And like one girl wrote me, she said, oh my God, you just made me cry. I know how busy you are, and the fact that you took time to do that, blah, 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 blah. So would this be another appropriate place to possibly use video?
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I haven't gotten that skilled yet to do my video, but sometimes I'll do the microphone, depending on my relationship with them, and I'll sing them happy birthday or just say happy birthday, or I just write in a happy birthday comment like I did here with Gina. People love that. So the happy birthdays are a huge part of Jim's program. And that's one that I feel we cannot ever miss. We can miss on different things here and there and commenting and liking and so on, but birthdays, we cannot. They only get one day a year. So we can't miss that. And you will stand out so much more. Like you said, Stephanie, you made her cry. And you may have, really, truly, honestly, because you did take that time. She knows how busy you are. And you took that time to make that, where everybody else, her 200, 300, 400 friends or whatever, are posting happy birthday on her wall. She doesn't really get a chance to respond. It's a copy paste, copy paste, copy paste situation. Yours is a very personal way of reaching out and saying hello. So birthdays, 100%, video, voice, whatever it is, but definitely do videos without fail. All right, guys, I didn't teach you how to graph search. Our time is up. Do you guys want to go another 10 minutes and I can teach you how to graph search, or we can add that into next week? You guys have to let me know where you are.
Question, Stephanie?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so kind of like our homework assignment would be to send a love note, because you mentioned last night on the call, send a love note to, like, I don't know, 10 or 30 people. And then, so they would go, so you would go back into the messenger as you had just illustrated, and then you would put them in a list. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
So let's recap that and let's go over a homework assignment. So if you guys are okay, I'm going to always try and give you guys homework assignments to help you to actually do that. And feel free, hopefully I can extend that group. The events are a little crazy like that, but hopefully I can extend that and we can use that as a way to kind of talk to each other until the other group is back up. But homework assignments are, if you can, you guys are all in this to really, really dive into it. So if you can do 30 people a day, I highly recommend that. It doesn't take long. And especially if you're dealing with friends, sending out that love note might take you 5 to 7 minutes. It is super fast because you're not researching them. You're not going into their profile like you would a new person. You're just sending a love note out to people that you know or that you've had a connection with. And then you respond to them as they respond to you, or whenever you have that time block on your schedule. Okay, and then you immediately do those other things. And the great thing is it's actually very easy to do that organization on your phone. I have found it to be a little bit easier on my phone to add them to the list. So I'll just sit there when I have 5 minutes, and I'll just go through my list of people that I messaged, and I'll just take those 5 minutes and see another list, bam, see another list, bam, 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 week one. And then to archive, you should do that pretty quickly as well. And that takes about 3 minutes. So to reach out to 30 people and do the love note organization shouldn't really truly take more than 15 minutes. It's your time that you spend responding to them that's going to take more time, but it honestly doesn't take that much time. Now, Facebook has Facebook jail, and so you got to be really careful about that. We almost went in it today. One little warning: whenever you see it pop up that you need to click on the cars, right? What's an actual car versus a tree, or they have you do the numbers or whatever, then that's your red flag that you're about ready to go to Facebook jail. So when you see anything like that pop up, stop. No more private messages. You are done. And today I reached out to 30 private messages of people I'm not friends with. 35, I sent messages to people that are going to a class of mine on Thursday, sent 35 of them a message, and 5 happy birthdays. And that was enough to give me the warning. So just always remember that, because you don't want to be without a business for 24, 48 hours. So homework assignment, let me read your chat. Well, the copy paste, you can do that. So Stephanie's question was, I thought copy paste is not a great idea. It is and it isn't. You just have to stay personalized with it. And so if you make it so that it sounds like you made it for that person, you're fine, right? And if you put their name in it, and always remember to change their name. But so if you're going to copy paste, how many of us have accidentally done one of those little faux pas? And then if you want to add something personal to it, you've got the guts copied and paste, but then you personalized it for them. But I even found that as I was doing this to the people that I have really close friendships with and team members, I didn't need that personal statement. They just loved getting a love note. So play with it, whatever you feel comfortable with it. I've done it both ways. Both ways worked great. There was really no difference in my responses. Go ahead, Stephanie.
May I share a tip for sorting that I've used that I think I'm going to use for these love notes, which I love this idea. So thank you. Is in Messenger, you used to be able to search an emoji. That seems to have gone away. So like my birthday wishes all had a specific emoji, so I could always search if those people replied. What I did find is it will still let us search a hashtag. So you could do a little hashtag signature with each of your love notes. And that way, if you want to pull up any of them, you just search in your own Messenger with that hashtag and only use it for that specific thing. And that's another good way to sort.
That's awesome. I didn't know anything about that. That's fantastic. So I'm going to take that to Jim to see if we have that emoji situation. But that's brilliant. Thank you very much. Love that. Okay. All right, great. We will have to dive into how to graph search later, but take your time and go through your list. So if you have your own Facebook group, great. If you don't, go into your personal friends, or pick a group that you have a pretty good connection to. I don't know, I'm just going to pick one. Oh, these I have to join. So I want groups I'm in, right? So, obviously you don't want to click on company Facebook groups. That's not right. Always go with integrity. Let's see, what was something that's not business related? Okay, so here's my high school reunion. So if I wanted to just click on everybody from my high school and send out love notes to everybody in my high school, right? You can just continue to pick different groups that you're involved in and do that. But graph searching, I'll just show you this really, really easy. We'll have to dive into a little bit more. People, see here's already that. People who are network marketers in Phoenix. There you go. There's tons of names. It doesn't always work. Sometimes you will get a bug. Don't get hung up on it whatsoever. Just go a different direction, because there's so many directions if you want to reach out to brand new people. I personally love to do the groups because I already have a connection to them. They may not be people that I'm friends with. They may not have a relationship with them. It's that opportunity to grow it. Something that's not business. All right, here we go. Now I can get into this group. There's 18,000 members. Now before I really truly start engaging with them privately, I need to make sure they have a like, trust, and respect with me by the posts that I've been doing already. So get yourself involved in groups, comment, put some posts out there of value, so that when they get a message from you, they're like, oh yeah, I've seen your face. Remember that profile picture? I've seen your face, or I've seen your name. I like your posts. The wall's already down. It's a great way to make friends already. All right, cool. So that was a lot of my information on connecting. Let's open it up for questions. See if, I don't think there's anything in the chat box. What kind of questions do you guys have? Are you guys good? Does this give you guys a lot of great information to work with right now?
Yeah, I have a question, Stephanie. I have my own personal nutrition group, and a lot of those people I'm not even friends with yet. They've been added to the group. What kind of message would you recommend sending them? Just kind of like a welcome message, welcome to my nutrition group. I hope you find this information, really helpful, and please reach out to me if you have any questions.
Yeah, so these are people in your team group that you haven't actually reached out to, that you did not invite.
Not necessarily my team group. It's actually just a personal nutrition group.
Oh, okay. It has nothing to do with the business. It's just a nutrition group. Great. A welcome is always nice, as long as you're not bringing any business onto the table. And it's a love note, but it's a love note of, hey, I'm so glad you're in this group. I look forward to getting to know you more.
Yeah, perfect.
Right? Something simple, easy, that no wall is going to go up because, well, what is she trying to gain from me? Right? Oh, yeah. Cool. She's just welcoming me. How sweet was that? That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, because before I added them to my personal nutrition group, because I'm kind of using that as an education group, but maybe a landing board for potential Isagenix people, I was sending them all private messages and saying, welcome to my group, sharing a little bit of my story. Please add me as a friend, and then I'll add you to my other group. But I wasn't getting a whole lot of responses that way, and so I decided to change my.
Just start off as strictly a love note, no intentions. And Raquel Miller talked about it on our team call earlier tonight. When you really get to the point, and we've heard this for so many years, right? Every event any of us have ever been to in network marketing, when you really get to the point where you take yourself out of the picture and it's all about them, and you're truly just saying hello and giving, there's no business attached, everything changes. And it's difficult getting there. It really truly is. So don't beat yourself up if you're struggling with that at all, but just force it to happen. Oop, that sounded business, right? Take it off the table and just welcome. And if you guys want to post your messages, either for feedback or it's gone well or just ideas to help the group, post your ideas, guys. Let's work together as a team. So that we can really make this work. And when you feel confident, in Jim's program, he gives you the words to say. That's one reason I love his program so much, is because it gave me the confidence that I wasn't being judged in any way, and people weren't looking at me strange, and I wasn't creating a wall. It's just really, truly about saying hello. So his program will help you go through that if you haven't gotten to that point yet.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah, in the last couple of days, it's just been so much freedom of just making friends, which I love to do, and just messaging and saying, I hope you have an awesome day. And it's just been, so I'm just feeling really good about not having any expectations, and that's how I would want to be treated, Yeah.
It's an amazing feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you take that off and you truly are just you without any intentions, it's really freedom. The freeing is such a great word. And you're probably going to find, as you continue with the program, that freedom comes into play so many other places. When you're at parties or social events, or you're on the phone with someone, you find, or I have found at least, that I am able to have conversations with people and listen to them better. And I'm not thinking about what I want to say, because I have no intention. I just really, truly want to know and like this person. And hopefully they feel the same way about me. So you'll find that different shifts happen in every scenario that you're in. And people are going to buy from you when they like, know, trust, and respect you, and they have a need for your service. They are going to come to you. We don't have to force them to come to us.
Exactly.
All right.
Love it.
Awesome. Yay. And you just started. All right. So make sure you go through the program. If you haven't gone through the connection piece and the fundamentals, make sure you get through fundamentals and connection. And then before we speak next week, let's make sure we go through conversation. So these are the different courses. I think that'll be course number 3, so that you guys have already practiced a little bit, kind of already gone through it, so we can talk about any experiences that you guys have. And are you guys good with us all working together? Everybody's good being a team and helping each other and staying accountable? Okay, so here's what you do. And I expect to have the Facebook group up tomorrow. So a whole different Facebook group that will be the Facebook group to be accountable and to send people to learn more information about this program. But state how many love notes you sent out, and anything else you want to say, how they've gone, any specific things you've gone through, and watch the videos, and then make sure you stay organized with that. So let us know your thoughts and what you experienced, and just anything else that kind of happens, because different things will continue to happen to you, just like with you, Sherry. All right, great. Question here. Yes.
I have a question. I missed part of it. I just got home, but I heard you say something about printing off your friends.
Mm-hmm. You absolutely can, Aaron, but it's not something that you need to do. So if you're a paper person and you really need to have that paper, then go ahead and do that, make your notes and highlight. But if you're not as much of a paper person and you want to stay more organized, revisit this recording and I'll send it to you guys. And guys, please don't share this with other people. This is strictly just for us. But when you go in there, listen to how we organize on our weeks, in our lists, as well as the archiving. And that will help keep you organized.
Okay, but I guess I'm just trying to remember, like, there's times I'll go back into Facebook and I can't remember, not saying I can't remember, but it seems like it reorganizes the friends, and then I'm kind of like, where was I at? Does that make sense?
So yeah, that's the only tricky part, and some of it depends on your memory and how good that is. So I have found that the order doesn't change. So as I go down the list, if I'm working in my group per se, the order has not changed yet that I've noticed.
Okay.
And you will be able to tell if you already sent them a message or if you didn't send them a message when you go into private message, right? It's going to be there. But I write down the last person that I ended with. And then I know to just find that person. That's a little frustrating. It takes a little bit of effort. You can sort alphabetically. How can you do that? Can you share screen, Stephanie?
In a group, you can. In a group. The group members.
Okay.
Yeah, I can share. Hold on.
Okay, I'll let you share and show us how to do that. That'd be fantastic. That'd be so helpful, because then you know they're not out of order. It's alphabetical.
And the cool thing is you can also sort people waiting by, waiting to join the group, like have they answered the questions, etc. So hold on. We're a little slow here. All right. You guys can see it?
Yes.
So if you go to members, your member list, and you can sort here by when they joined. Oops. Oh. Thank you. Yes, Facebook. I know. Oh, for goodness sakes.
So this is my comment that I love to share. My husband laughs at me because he's an IT guy. He's like, Stephanie, you have now joined the IT world, but you know nothing about it. Like, I know, baby.
Hang on. Sorry, I may have pointed you to the wrong place. Let's see. Oh, why is this? Oh. Okay. Sort by default, alphabetical, or when they joined.
Oh, how fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. There you go, Erin.
And then
make a huge difference.
I loved what you said about contacting, their sponsor, etc. It also tells you who added them, right? So that's
right. It's all right there in front of you. So if you look at that, added by Lauren Goldman, right? And then you just click on there and say your message. And then when it pops up in the private message, it's also going to show you the different groups that you have in common. So you can have these very quick conversations with people, know so much about them in just a matter of seconds because Facebook's giving you that.
Yeah, they're giving us so much more in groups. Like I can see what he's posted recently.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Great. All right, fantastic. Okay, guys. Any other questions, any concerns with what we've gone over today? We haven't gone over everything. There's so much more, but any questions or concerns?
I just have one quick question. How do we log back into that training we bought? Because I haven't been in it in forever, to be honest. I don't even know where to go.
Right. So Stephanie, you were in the original online platform. The platform's still the same, but the website is different. So you may need to contact help support and have her allow you to get back in because they completely changed their websites. All you need to do is just ask the help desk and she'll take care of it very fast.
But on what site? I mean,
it's socialpointofview.com.
Okay.
That was the old one, guys.
Thank you.
Yep, go there. Alexanne is, I'm gonna start recording.